Hi everyone, today I want to talk to you about pattern grading. I know it's not the designer's favorite task, but it is for sure a very important one. Just think about all the people that you know that would love to wear your creation, but they can't because of their different physiognomy. What does grading mean? Grading is a process used to commercialize garments so they could be offered in different sizes. It involved to increase or decrease the pattern size while keeping the style and the fit of the garment. To do so, there's different methods that I will show you right now. Okay, so the first method is called the slash and spread. It consists in cutting the pattern and placing gap or overlap between the different sections of your pattern. And as you could see, with this demo here, where I enlarged two sizes, it's quite a bit of work and it involves to first make a double of your pattern every time you want to grade and do a new size. Okay, so the second method is called the pattern shifting, and it could be done different ways, but the idea is to trace your original pattern and add or remove on the contour of the pattern. The technique I learned was to trace two lines at 90 degrees from the center front and place your measurement in X and Y for each single point that you want to grade. So two lines for each point, but you do all sizes on the same two lines. So the shifting goes like that. From original tracing, smaller size would go in and up right on the points, and you would trace the point with those coordinates. I'm going to go down just a little. So that's the shifting area. Here you go, underarm point. When you're done with all the points, you just connect one to the other and you get your new size. Finally, to save time and avoid confusion, I use the X and Y numbers just like on the pattern shifting that I did before, but I apply them directly on the point to be graded. So I trace my 90-degree line exactly on the point, and I'll put the grading also there. This is the method I will use in today's demonstration. So now let's look at how we do it. First thing to know is that grading is on the contour of the piece. The inside details, such as dart or seam, are going to be moving proportionally. Since the height of an adult doesn't change when he gain or lose weight, the most important grading is horizontal, as you could see on this one. The vertical grading is minimal, only to compensate for the longer or shorter distance from the basic point to the new horizontal line. Because grading is not custom made, but originally for production, we usually take in consideration the biggest area of the body. So the only measurement you will need is the all around the hip for the bottom piece, or all around the bust or waist for the top grading. So you could see it's exactly the same measurement over here. Since increasing or decreasing have different limit from the basic to a medium size, so my basic is over here. From my basic to the smaller size, we usually put smaller measurement because the bone is stopping you from getting any smaller. While we put bigger measurement when we go for bigger size, because there's a lot more possibility of sizes. So let's look at an example here where I put my basic size as a medium, size 10, and the small size 6, X small 2, and you could go larger size 14, X large 18. As you could see here, for the letter sizes, small, medium, large, there's 4 sizes step between the letter. This reduces the amount of size to be produced and also the cost of the garments. Okay, so now let's make the measurement that we will need. I just took the measurement that I showed you before for my small and my large size. And since the pattern are 1/4 of the bodice, let's divide them by 4. So you have 1/4 of these measurements over here. And I know we will need half of that measurement to grade the shoulder blade area. So I did the measurement divided by 2 again for the shoulder blade area. The princess line, the dart that I have on my pattern, is going to be graded with a 0.3 per size, a fixed 0.3 per size. So I wrote down the measurement I will need for the small and the large. And the neck has an even smaller grading. It's going to be 0.2 fixed per size. So I wrote down my measurement for small and large. Then you have your vertical measurement. So the shoulder point, all of them are going to be moving 0.2 per size. So I put this minus 0.4 for the small and plus 0.4 for the large. The shoulder blade area is fixed, so nothing there. The apex and underarm point are going to get a 0.3 fixed per size also. So I did my calculation for small and large. And finally you have the waist that is going to move up and down 5 mm fixed per size. Also I put my measurement there. So the first step to do the actual grading is to trace your pattern on another paper and to determine the fixed point. The fixed point, I'm going to have one for the horizontal movement and one for the vertical movement. For the horizontal movement, my fixed point is going to be my center front. And for the vertical movement, the fixed point is going to be the shoulder blade level. This level, you're going to report it onto your block. So we have exactly the same reference on both of them. The second step is to determine the point to be graded. So on a bodice, I usually start at a fixed point and I go all around just to make sure I don't forget anyone. So the first one we will be grading is the neck point. Then we're going to grade the dart or the princess line. In that case, I'm going to circle both points of the dart. The next point to grade is going to be the shoulder and armhole point. Then we're going to have the shoulder blade level. Shoulder blade level, you trace it just a little higher than the armhole notch to make sure you don't forget about this one. Then you're going to have the underarm point. You're going to have the waist and side seam. Both notches at the waist, dart. And you're going to have the center front at the waist. Finally, the last one, the apex. Okay, so the third step is to trace lines 90 degrees from the center front on each of the points you have to grade. So I already started and I will make some more for the point I didn't do, such as my dart. So 90 degrees from the center, touching the point, just like that. Each of the circle point. Then you have to put your measurement in X and in Y for every size you want to do on every point. So I'm not going to do them all right now, but I'll use the measurement that we got before, and I'm going to do my size small and my size large for the side seam and underarm point. So my small size was 1.2 and my large size was 2 centimeters. To that, to this point, I'm going to put the vertical measurement. So large size goes down 6, and small size will go up 0.6. I will do the same on the bottom, on the apex, on every single point, then I will retrace. Okay, so I completed the measurement for all the small size, and I'm going to start tracing it from a fixed point. So I'm starting with the neckline. What you do is you place your block. If you're doing small size, your basic block is going to come out a little bit on each side. So you put it right in the middle. So coming out pretty much the same amount on both sides, and you trace. For the straight line, you could use the block or you could use a ruler just to connect the point. So here I'm going to trace first part of the shoulder and last part of the shoulder. I will use the block to trace the dart, because the dart always keep the same depth. And you continue curve line with using the block. So shoulder blade, shoulder to shoulder blade. Now, one of the most difficult part is the underarm, and here you're going to see better how you place your block. So my two reference are the shoulder blade and underarm, and my new underarm point is right here for the size small, and this is my shoulder blade. So I'll place my block with the two same reference halfway or right in the middle. So you see the distance here should be pretty much the same over there, and you could trace. Straight line for the side seam, I'm just going to trace with the ruler. Continue with the ruler for the first part and the second part of the dart. And again, I use my block to trace the jog or the arrow of the dart. The pivot is right there for my small size. So the last thing I want you to look at is how it's moving. So from the fixed horizontal point, the small size are all going in. Big size, they do opposite. And from the fixed vertical line, this one here, look at my small size, it's coming up. Even the apex is coming up, notch also. And from the shoulder, it's going down. So small size going towards the fixed line. Okay, so if all those measurement and movement give you a headache, or if you're scared to make a mistake, you must see my next video, in which I will show you how my new grading ruler can make this task fun and easy. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy.